And now we're live, right? Yes. Hopefully everybody can see me and hear me. Good morning from the Bentley house. This is our special edition of City on a Hill. We are not in our normal place, in case you haven't already noticed that. This is our Blizzard at the Bentley special edition, City on a Hill, Sunday morning. We made the decision last night, early evening. And actually, as we were making the decision, it's kind of a tough call to decide whether you go ahead with the service or you cancel the service due to weather and what's it going to be like in another 12 hours, another 6 hours. Nobody really knows, so you have to just go for it, right? So we were debating it, and we decided to make the decision to cancel. And then we're joking around about, as soon as we cancel the service, sun's going to come out. People will be playing in the yards, kids on their bikes and shorts and all this stuff, which didn't happen, obviously. But what did happen, as soon as we made the decision to cancel, moments later, City Plow comes down the street, people are out on the street talking, shoveling their driveways, and then the second guessing begins. But as we all know, the snow kept coming, the wind was blowing, and it was pretty much a mess this morning, going out and shoveling and trying to dig out of our own driveway. So I think we made the right call. And so here we are. So through the miracle of YouTube live streaming, we decided to at least make an opportunity here before the day gets away to come live and talk to everybody. If you haven't been at our house yet, I don't know how much you can see around me, but this is our house. This is what the Bentley house looks like in the middle of a blizzard, or at the end of a blizzard. So Jason's here. Jason Rich is helping with the camera. He came up early to make sure he could be here, and then he had the pleasure of being stuck with us overnight. So we made it work. I'd love to do just a few announcements, things that we were already going to talk about if we were having our regular service, give you some kind of an idea of what's coming up next Sunday. And as we all know, the weather changes things, so we'll have to kind of flex a little bit with whatever's coming up on the calendar. So we'll talk about a few of those things. Is it working? We're getting reports that it may not be working. And so I don't know if you're seeing me or not. It looks like it's working, and you're trying to live stream right now, and it's not coming up. So maybe it's recording and not streaming?
It's live somewhere.
You're not getting anything, huh?
Dan says it's working.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, never mind, I got it.
All right, never mind. We had false intel. Fake news was coming across from a family member. So we are so techie around here. It's surprising we can turn the oven on. So anyway, it's like I said, it's a tough call to cancel service. For the main reason that we are a body and we're family and you're my family. So it's always kind of a sad thing to
go back to the YouTube page.
To not have...
No, tell people to go to the YouTube page.
Oh, I'm getting information here that you should go directly to our YouTube channel on YouTube. I don't know where you're trying or where people are trying to stream from. So maybe the link from the website isn't working?
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe we've goofed that up this morning somehow. But if you go to the YouTube channel, you should be able to find us streaming live. So if you're not there yet, get to the right place. And I guess I'm telling people who are already at the right place. So sorry about that. Anyway, it's always hard to miss out on being together as a family. So miss you guys this morning. I hope everybody is safe and warm and not doing anything foolish. And actually, hopefully have some time to enjoy the weekend and enjoy less or fewer responsibilities. So I would urge you to make the most of that. If that's time alone, great. If that's time in prayer with family or friends, awesome. Time alone with Christ, with His Word. Make the most of the time that you have and enjoy that time away. So I would strongly encourage that. There's a few things coming up I want to hit on real quick. We were going to have a meeting at noon today for our Rosebud He Dog trip, and that's not going to happen. What I would hope to be able to do is reschedule that for next Sunday. That's an important thing for a number of reasons. We need to get some solid numbers as far as who can go in June. And we are now less than 2 months away from that trip because we'll leave June 9th. So our goal is to get some solid numbers by the end of this month who can fill out a registration and begin preparing as a team for the trip coming up. There will be a lot more information about that at our meeting over lunch for next Sunday. And even if you know you can't go on the trip from the 9th to the 16th in June, but would like to know more about ministry there, about all the future potential of partnering with Tiwahi and Pastor Paul and his family and the leaders of church there, you can come to the meeting, find out more about it, find out how you can be a part of it even though you're not going. There are support roles and ways to encourage and to help others go. So when we talk about a partnership, we really want it to be a partnership between two churches, not just don't think of it as only or simply a week-long missions trip somewhere. We want to see this grow and develop to be a ministry where City on a Hill participates in valuable ways with Tiwahi, and the same thing for Tiwahi participating with what we're doing throughout the year. That's I believe, a true partnership with two churches working together. And we want to start to move in that direction. So next week, come to the time after the worship service, bring a lunch, or we'll order something and eat together or skip lunch. It's up to you. But we really need to get those registrations together and begin planning financially and everything else that needs to go into a trip. So that's coming up. With anything, you can always call us. Our phone number is all over the place, and that info@mycityonahill.org. You can always email us and find out more about what's going on or have your questions answered. So that's next Sunday. Also, our April blessing focus, the Open Door Ministry. There have been last couple weeks some notices in the bulletin regarding the kind of things that you can bring. I think we're kind of focusing on some food items, some perishable items, and also some general paper products. It's things that they can use and help other people out with. So we'll talk more about this next Sunday. And again, you can find out more about that, about other things, with our email newsletter that's coming out in the next day or two. If you're already on the list, great. Open it up and read the details. If you're not, info@mycityonahill.org, and you can get on that list and find out what's going on with the Open Door Ministry, how we're supporting them, and other things going on. So that's the rest of April. We had talked the last couple weeks about having a man fun night this coming Friday. I believe that's the 20th now. And the weather stinks, in case you hadn't noticed that. Talked to Greg Finley yesterday, and it's not just the snow, but it's the wet, standing water in his property, the mud, it's everywhere. Just having a few cars come out and try to park in the mud would obviously be a huge mess. So we could have a miracle. The sun could come out. We could dry up like crazy all week, and then we're good. On the outside chance that doesn't happen, which it looks like is probably not going to happen, we will try to reschedule and do something. So again, we'll send out an email. We'll talk about it. If there's an opportunity to do something here, somebody's house, get some guys together, then we'll look at that option too. Maybe we'll get together and watch the Avengers. I heard there's a movie coming out next weekend, so that could be a possibility too. So next week, here's where we're going to catch up. Since we're taking this week off, we're back into Mark chapter 14. And This is the Passion Week, the time that Christ is preparing for the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate suffering. That's what passion means. And we are coming to a portion of chapter 14. It's a very long chapter. The portion that we are coming up to is well known, at least by a lot of Christians. We call it the Lord's Supper, the time where Jesus sits down with at least with the disciples, possibly others were there. And then he begins what is probably the Passover meal with the disciples, but he does it in a way that renews it, gives it new meaning and new significance. So there's been a lot of very exciting things that we've talked about, that we've learned throughout Mark's gospel. And this is leading up to the ultimate point in the gospel. So much going on in this very short passage that we'll look at next week. I truly hope that you can join us. It is not just significant to learn facts and details, but to know the heart of our Father and to know really the heart of his mission through his Son Christ, to complete through his life and through his death, through his sacrifice for us, to get the full significance, the full meaning. Well, he just lays it out for us at that meal. So I'll set that down. This is a little teaser for next week. I have here some unleavened bread. I don't know how well you can see that or not. I don't know how well it'll keep till next Sunday, so I might have to ask a special friend to make me some more. But he took some bread, may have looked something like this. It would have been very flat, no yeast. And he also took a cup, which I don't have, and he gave at that meal a brand new significance to this bread as he broke it and distributed it, handed it out to the disciples so they could eat together. And as he took the cup and passed that around, and as they all took a drink, Jesus took the Passover meal and he owned it. He said, "This is my body and this is my blood." And he made a connection that was scandalous. It was unheard of. No Jew would talk about or encourage the thought of another Jew eating a body or eating someone's blood. To use that language is scandalous. It was unheard of. And many Christians are so used to the Lord's Supper and talking about the Passover, they kind of get it. Well, even for those of us who are used to hearing the story, we can't just settle with, "Oh, I get that in one way, in one place and time, or I get it intellectually." We got to get it with our hearts. We can't miss the value and the depth, the theological meaning, the spiritual meaning, the meaning in our own lives. Taking Jesus in a very real way. It goes beyond just bread and juice. It goes beyond just learning and understanding. It is a complete, total, whole life change. The whole Jesus himself, he is inviting us to take him in, to be radically transformed, to truly be his disciple, his follower. So I'm very excited about this portion of Mark 14. It is life-changing. I don't just throw that out. I don't say that in a glib kind of way. I really mean it, because Jesus means it. He wants our whole lives to be changed, transformed as we follow him. So it really comes down to this moment in time. So I really hope you can come next Sunday to be transformed along with me as we sit and talk and listen and think and pray and worship and be drawn close to the person and the work of Jesus Christ. So again, I hope you're home and safe and comfortable with loved ones. I hope you make the most of maybe the additional free time that you have. Take up the book of Mark, read chapter 14, be a little ahead of the game, find out what's going on, make a few notes, some observations. So as we talk together, we can be all the more ready to grasp what's going on and to take in Jesus again. So have a great day. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday, maybe before Who knows? Maybe we'll get our man stuff together and go have some fun, and the weather will cooperate. If not, we'll come up with something else. And if you're too bored, maybe later on we can watch the Wolves win, or play a board game, or do something else and have fun together if it clears up. So have a great one today, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.